Meanwhile, President Biden travelled to the COP26 climate summit this week, where world leaders met to tackle the most urgent issue of our time. And Biden didn't get off to a great start.
President Biden is at the UN Climate Summit in Scotland today, and during today's opening session, you guessed it, he appeared to fall asleep there.
This conference is one of the most important meetings in history.
Yeah, that's not ideal, is it? This conference is one of the most important meetings in history. It's one of the worst things someone can say as you nod off. It's right up there with "you may now kiss the bride," or "in 1 mile exit highway," or "welcome to Last Week Tonight, I'm John Oliver." Now, the conference was full of reminders, both big and small, of just how serious this situation is. From the massive protests outside to some of the displays within. For example, the tiny island nation of Tuvalu, which may soon be flooded out of existence thanks to climate change, installed this exhibit depicting polar bears in life vests and a penguin in a noose, which is a striking image and either suggests Tuvalu's plight or some kind of tragic situation where a group of polar bears committed a crime so heinous they had to kill the only witness, an innocent penguin, and make it look like a suicide before popping on their getaway life vests and escaping to start newer, happier lives. It's one of those two things. But the main attraction was clearly the world leaders, many of whom made some big promises, like cutting back on coal and methane emissions and committing to ending deforestation. And cumulatively, those promises could have some effect.
The International Energy Agency says if all the pledges from COP26 are fulfilled as promised and on schedule, global warming can be limited to 1.8 degrees.
Right. 1.8 degrees, which sounds okay until you remember the scientific consensus is that the rise needs to be limited to 1.5 degrees, and beyond that threshold, there is a far greater likelihood of devastating consequences. And it actually gets worse because that already insufficient target is predicated on every single country living up to its pledges, which seems very unlikely because their track record isn't great here. At the COP15 conference 12 years ago, rich nations promised to channel $100 billion a year to less wealthy nations by 2020 to help them adapt to climate change. But they are nowhere close to that. And look, there are things that it's okay to take a decade on and not deliver. The Avatar sequels, for instance. Take your time on those, James Cameron. No one gives a shit. I will give anyone in this audience $1,000 right now if they remember either of these characters' names. Exactly. Aid to fight climate change, though, is something people actually need. The truth is here, while world leaders may be loudly patting themselves on the back for pledging a better future this week, the last decade of broken promises should serve as a warning that we have to keep pushing them, because this next decade is it. Everything is on the line. Your life, mine, those sadistic polar bears, all of it. And we all need to take an active role in waking world leaders up, figuratively, and sadly, in one case, literally. And now, this.
And now, people on TV saying things wrong.
Dr. Jorge Rodriguez is a board-certified internist and a viralist. Am I saying that? A virologist. A virologist.
You can now listen to Taylor Swift's new album. It's titled Folklore. Now, can you help me out? Folklore. Am I saying that incorrectly?
You are looking live right here at Cape Canaveral. Am I saying that right? Where an Atlas V rocket is set to take off.
He's always been chivalrous.
Oh, nice.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right. It was right.
Steve Dooley, the Director of Workers for Opportunity at the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. Am I saying that right?
Mackinac, but thanks for having me.
Okay.
Trending this morning, a work of art by Banksy. Am I saying his name right? Banksy. Banksy?
Have you not heard of Banksy?
Yeah, he painted that one thing up in Park City.
Row kind of street.
On the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, Banky fetches a high price at auction in London. Banksy. Banky?
Whatever.